If Chrystia Freeland's resignation today doesn't open your eyes to what a bunch of crooks the Liberal Party has become, nothing will. Chrystia Freeland, Mark Carney's Minister of Transport, resigned this morning a couple of months after signing a multi-billion-dollar deal with the country of China for them to build 3 ferries for Vancouver. I kid you not, as the Minister of Transport, Chrystia Freeland was the one who negotiated and agreed to the deal with China, multi-billion dollars to have 3 ferries built that we could have easily built in Canada, but the Liberal Party continues to sell us out, and she resigns immediately when the Liberals return from summer vacation. Now, I see no reporting on the CBC, on CTV, on any of our propaganda news networks as to the connection between her resignation and this contract being signed. But I've been doing some digging, and there is definitely nefarious stuff going on here. Chrystia Freeland is the same person who smiled and laughed during the Freedom Convoy when people who donated, Canadians who donated $50, $100 to the Freedom Convoy had their bank accounts frozen. Multiple Canadians still have their bank accounts frozen years later for donating $100 to the Freedom Convoy. We need to investigate Chrystia Freeland. What kickbacks did she get for signing a multi-billion-dollar deal with China that is just coming under scrutiny from the Canadian media now? And she, in short order, resigns immediately after returning from summer vacation. Now, this woman is incredibly corrupt. She was Trudeau's left-hand woman and has played as large a role as anybody not named Justin Trudeau in the destruction of Canada over this past decade. Now, Mark Carney, who has kept 90% of the same cabinet, the same corrupt cabinet that Justin Trudeau, the most scandal-ridden prime minister in Canadian history, the We Charity scandal, the SNC-Lavalin scandal, the scandals go on and on and on, has one of his key members of parliament resigning after signing one of the largest deals in Canadian history with China. The corruption going on between the Liberal government and China in particular is truly breathtaking and needs to be investigated. China just also announced 75% canola tariffs on Canadian exports, a multi-billion-dollar industry. Manitoba, Alberta, and Saskatchewan have already been so screwed over by this Liberal government, getting hammered by canola tariffs. And what's our government's response? Give multi-billion-dollar deals to China. China also invested $250 million with Brookfield Asset Management. Canada, open your eyes up. Mark Carney is corrupt to the bone. His cabinet is corrupt to the bone. His only 2 ethics investigators that are supposed to oversee ethics in the House of Commons are hand-selected by Mark Carney. Our country continues to be sold out. The $13 billion in real estate that was just announced by Mark Carney to be built in Canada, guess who's going to be building it? Modulaire, a subsidiary of Brookfield Asset Management. We are being sold out day after day after day. 4,200 people are entering this country every day. 1.5 million people in total estimated for 2025 after 8 million in the past decade, when we already have a massive housing shortage. They're only building 250,000 houses a year and allowing 1.5 million people in. That's 1.3 million fewer houses being built than people entering this country when we already have a housing crisis in this country. We are being sold out every single day by this Liberal government that prioritizes the profits of Chrystia Freeland, Mark Carney, their buddies at the WF, Davos, Brookfield Asset Management. Well, the rest of us continue to starve, live on streets filled with crackheads like we've never seen before in Canada. This has to end. I've already submitted FOI requests. We need to get active. We need Chrystia Freeland's accounts investigated. If she thinks that she can just sign a $1 billion deal, where I would bet my life, if you were to look into her bank account, she has received payoffs from China signing this deal, and then she thinks she's just going to scurry her fat ass out of government, the little midget. Hell no. The Canadian people demand better. We see directly through this. Canadians demand an investigation into Chrystia Freeland's finances. You cannot sell Canada out, billions of taxpayer dollars going to the CCP, going to the Communist Party of China. These far lefties are communists, and get yourself rich while you sell Canadians out, send billions of dollars overseas while 2 million Canadians use food banks every single year. Well, the unemployment rate is at 7.1%, the highest rate in the G7. Youth unemployment among men is 22%, a fucking catastrophe for any developed country like Canada. And what do the Liberals do? They continue to sell us out time and time and time again because they know that our corrupt media will not report on it. The Canadian citizens need to say, enough is enough. We demand, I'm going to get a petition going. We need to demand an inside look at Chrystia Freeland's finances. We are sick of being sold out. She's not going to waddle out of Parliament without an investigation into exactly how much money she has received from China. She can cackle and laugh. Well, people who donate $50, $100, middle-class Canadians have their lives ruined during the Freedom Convoy. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. Please like, share, subscribe. I want this video going far and wide. We cannot allow Chrystia Freeland to get away with this. She is the perfect symbol of what the Liberal Party has done to Canada over the past decade. And Mark Carney and the Liberals think they can just continue on Justin Trudeau's corruption. Hell no. Hell no. Canadians will not stand for this anymore. We will not stand for this. Demand that the CBC, CTV report on this story. They've gotten so used to their brazen corruption out in the open, but no longer. The Canadian people have had enough of this bullshit. Enough. Please like, share, subscribe this video. If you're watching on TikTok, the Canadian government's not a big fan of dissidents, and I'm over 17,000 followers, so please make sure you're following on YouTube, youtube.com/@FightForCanada2025. Stay tuned. I'll be getting a petition out there to be signed. The Canadian people have had enough of being sold out by Liberal insiders. The rest of us get poorer and poorer and poorer in a country with the second largest landmass in the entire world, an incredible natural resource, yet we continue to get poorer and poorer and poorer because the Liberals continue to sell us out. Enough is a goddamn enough.